This is Debs from Lucy's Library coming to you with Squanto and the Miracle of Thanksgiving by Eric Metaxas, who is known for writing historical biographies. And so he tells us the story about this man, Squanto, who was kidnapped from America to be a slave, and he was sold in Spain. But guess what? God had a different plan for him, and he was bought by some priests or monks, can't remember, and they taught him how to be a free Spaniard and taught him Spanish, but his heart was still in America. So they took their friend Squanto and connected him with somebody in England. There were no boats going from Spain to America. He had to catch his flight from somewhere else. So they connected him with some people in England. They taught him English, and they got him eventually on a boat back to America, where he finds that his tribe was wiped out by a plague. So he's the only one that survived. And so he, of course, grieves. Who would not grieve that? I'm going to read to you a little bit. As the pilgrims told their story, the sorrow in their voices broke Squanto's heart. He knew what it was like to lose loved ones. William Bradford, the governor of Plymouth, then spoke. "It's like the story of Joseph from our sacred scriptures," he said. "Like you, Joseph was also taken from his home and sold as a slave, but God had a plan for him. Through Joseph, God was able to save many people from starving. What man had intended for evil, God had intended for good." Then Bradford smiled at Squanto. "Perhaps God has sent you to be our Joseph," he said. And so I really love how we get to see in Squanto's story that God does turn the enemy's weapons back on him, and that what was planned as evil against Squanto was used for much good. And it's just such a good lesson to teach our kids that God really does have plans for our life.